Hi, I'm Frank Lincoln with Ronco Machine. I work as electrical design coordinator for our machine building team here in Clark Summit, Pennsylvania. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the typical process involved with building our electrical panel. So the first part of any panel build that we do here at Ronco Machine is coordinating with the customer. We make sure that we know exactly what the customer needs from their machine, and then we're sure to build a control system that will do exactly what the customer has in mind. At that point, we would wait for the customer's purchase order to come in, then we start the next phase of the project. For our electrical designs, we'll create layout drawings, single line drawings, and elementary drawings to show all the machine wiring and how the components will be laid out for the panel builds. We use AutoCAD Electrical, which is the industry standard for electrical drawings. We'll create BOMs based on the drawings with all the part numbers included on the drawings for the customer before the design is complete. Once we have the drawing set complete to 80%, we'll do multiple design reviews with our team here at our facility, and we'll involve the customers in those design reviews. And then once we get to where we think we're about 80% complete on our electrical design, we'll go ahead and start to order the parts or do our procurement. Our procurement process is we shop for the best prices on the parts and the equipment, and if there's any special tools that are needed, this is the part of the project where we look for the best value for the customer. And we keep in mind that all of the parts that we would procure would be UL listed parts. Now, as the parts and equipment begin to arrive here, our master electrician will start to lay out the panel based on the design. So the drawings will show exactly where the equipment is laid out on the back plane in the panel. And then we'll pull from those parts and start to lay them out on the back plane to the design specification. To meet UL standards, the back plane has to be laid out a certain way. There has to be certain clearances around certain devices and to UL certify a panel. That's what we do here. So as we receive the parts, we lay out the panel based on the UL standards, and then we know that we'll have no trouble having it certified. Once we have all the equipment installed on the back plane and all the wiring that we can do on the bench, it's time to put the back plane into the panel. So at that point, we'll take the back plane and install it into the panel, make sure that it fits in the enclosure the way that it should and that all the components have the clearances that are required to meet UL specifications. Once we have the panels built and once all the wiring is done, at that point we'll take the design package, the electrical drawings, and we'll do what we call a pre-startup inspection, where we'll go through each wire, verify that it is labeled correctly, that is the correct size, the correct color, and that it is wired exactly to the drawings. We call this our static PSI check. This is done for every panel that we build here. Once we have our static PSI checks done, at that point it's time for our UL certification specialist to come in and verify that all of the equipment and that all of the wiring and the design meets all of the UL certification standards. We then certify the panel and it gets a UL sticker showing that it is a UL certified panel. Once the panel build is complete, UL certified, and all the static checks have been completed, we'll go ahead and put power to the panel. We'll put power to each device and verify that it is not defective from the factory and that it works as well as we can test it here in our shop. If we have the machine to test the devices, we'll do that at that point and make sure that the HMIs work, the switches work, all of the devices that we can check out here in the shop with power on them, we'll do that as part of our dynamic PSI check. After the panel's been dynamically tested, it's ready for packing and shipping. We ship panels all over the country, all over the world. Here at Ronco Machine, quality is number one, and getting the finished product to our customer is of the utmost importance.